It's not showing up in my sub box. There it is.
All right. So, we have some Game of Thrones stuff to laugh about. Plus, we'll be talking about Deadpool being introduced into the MCU, and Knights of the Old Republic, the films, getting a writer that seems very promising. So let's go ahead and get into it. My name is Micah Curtis.
I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as The Hatman.
Welcome to Micah and The Hatman Live. So I'm sort of speed eating the rest of my dinner here. But, Hatman, do you hear that?
Yes, I do.
Do you? Because I don't hear anything. It's kind of faint.
Fork scraping?
No, not that. Not that music
No.
either.
No, it was just fork scraping is what I heard. I thought that's what you meant.
Okay. No, that's not what I meant at all.
Okay, well, there we go. Nope, I don't hear anything else.
Okay. Well, let's listen a little bit closer.
Actually, I do. Is that a phone ringing?
It is a phone ringing. So somebody do us a favor and pick up that phone, because we fucking called it! Every single plot point in the Game of Thrones finale, Hatman, put the phone down.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to call collect.
But
So fucking collect.
Yep. Every single plot point,
Oh my god.
every single one, we called last week.
Hold it. So I'll just say this to start out with. I'm not super like upset by the ending. I'm just disappointed at the way we got here. Like everything was, and this has been the entire theme of like the last 2 seasons. Everything's been fucking rushed to hell and back.
Oh yeah. When you take a show that's like generally 13 episodes, and then you shorten it down to 8, then 6.
Yeah. I mean, thematically, the ending makes sense. Sure. But the path to it is just nonsensical. And on top of that, you have like established plot points. You know, things that were hinted at all throughout the series that ended up ultimately not mattering in the end.
Yep.
Bran being the three-eyed raven, that ultimately did not fucking matter in the end.
Nope.
Jon Snow being the son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, that ultimately did not fucking matter in the end. Literally all of Bronn's character arc this season, all 3 fucking scenes that he got, did not matter at all. What else? The Night King really didn't fucking matter.
Yeah, not really.
So that basically makes, half of the fucking series moot. I ain't got shit.
I just thought the salt was delicious.
You would.
Because I just... Man. To see Daenerys Targaryen... Oh, hold on. To see Daenerys Targaryen bite it was hilarious.
I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. The instant she went total Dragon Hitler, I knew she was toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what happened next made no sense. What happened next made no sense at all. First off, how the hell did Grey Worm not kill Jon Snow?
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
They're executing prisoners literally right before.
They were killing civilians.
They're executing prisoners when Jon meets Grey Worm for the first time in that show. And on top of that, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go see Daenerys. And then Grey Worm is beating him there already.
Yeah.
What the fuck teleportation shit?
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, even then, yeah, they're executing fucking prisoners. They're not taking any. What's the point? I know people have been saying, like, well, how the fuck are they gonna know that Jon Snow was the one that killed her? Because, you know, Drogon rode off with her body and burned the Iron Throne. Jon Snow would have fucking said something.
Yeah.
Actually, they did make a point in season set, the very last episode of the last season, where he straight told Cersei he wasn't going to bend the knee to her because he already did to Daenerys. And Tyrion was like, can you lie once in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon can't fucking lie.
No.
So there's that. But no, like it's. And is it even really a punishment for him to be sent back to the Wall?
Not really.
Because he's basically just become the new King Beyond the North, or King Beyond the Wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least you got the pet ghost. That's the only thing I am absolutely satisfied with.
It was reused footage too.
Don't care, pet the dog.
Yeah.
It's just...
So what ends up happening is the Stark family basically rules the world.
Yep.
Which is poetic, in a sense. Because it was, you know, Ned Stark being Ned Stark that kind of started this whole mess. The, other than that, like, it just... It existed. That was really kind of the problem with it. It's like, it just exists. It's just there. It's just there to end the show.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it doesn't take into account any of the consequences, character arcs that led to that point. I mean, you straight up had Bran saying, you know, I'm not going to be Lord of Winterfell. I can't be Lord of anything because I'm not Bran Stark anymore.
But I can be the fucking king.
Yeah. You know, why do you think I'm here? I don't know. Why are you such a goddamn liar? Like, fuck off with that shit. And then Yara Greyjoy sits there and bitches about how Jon Snow killed Daenerys Targaryen. She's not gonna be privy to any of that shit. And it's just like, okay, Bran's king, whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
You completely subverted a character in fucking 10 minutes or less. Wow. How does the Elmo cameo in Sesame Street tie into the finale? That's the true ending. That's the true ending. Tyrion and Cersei agree to respect each other. That is the true ending. Grover becomes the new king of the Seven Kingdoms. Fuck it.
I'm just happy that the feminists are mad.
Oh my god.
Just because they were the ones who were getting on people who disliked the most recent Star Wars film. Same people. Guess what? Your Dragon Queen is fucking dead. Killed by a man.
I love how they're saying, oh, this is just the theme of Game of Thrones that women aren't allowed to have anything anymore, completely disregarding the fact that Sansa Stark rules the goddamn independent North.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Not to mention, is
Oh,
it just me, or is the North a little bit too happy with just changing rulers all the fucking time?
I don't, I don't know.
I don't
I
either.
think just they're secessionists. That's all I've got.
I guess.
They're secessionists.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our topics of the week, because that was our pick of the week, was the ending of Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. And
So, before we move on, can we still recommend this show to people?
fuck no.
Knowing
I'm not gonna tell people to watch this.
honestly, I can't either. I think HBO's really shot themselves in the foot as far as complete set sales and rewatches after this. People aren't even going to want to watch like the first couple of seasons.
No, because you know that it ends on in just total abject silliness. So
You may as well just have given them a fucking Monty Python ending where everyone gets fucking arrested. Black. There you go. Yes, buy the book. That's it. That's all this was. This was a giant fucking advertisement for the last two books. That's all
Yes.
this was. All right, let's go ahead and move on.
yes. So topic one of the week. Tell us about Arthur, Hatman.
Apparently Arthur is doing the whole my teacher is gay thing when Hey Arnold did that shit like in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Fuck it. But no, it just episode of Arthur where their teacher, Mr. Ratburn, is going to get married, and the kids are all like, "Oh fuck, who's he going to get married to?" And they don't want him to get married to this prissy bitch, and then it turns out, nope, he's getting married to a dude. Okay. And now, Alabama and Arkansas have refused to air it on the public broadcasting channels.
Which leads us to an interesting scenario. So, the show Arthur is produced by PBS. PBS is largely federally funded. So, can you really consider it censorship if a state government on their public broadcasting channels refuses to air something paid for by the federal government?
I would say yes, on the grounds that they are refusing to air it for whatever personal convictions, moral convictions, or because of objectionable content. I mean that is basically what we say anything, or I'm sorry, basically the definition of censorship. Like that's the standard that we would apply to anything. I mean, whether or not you can call it government censorship is tricky, but I would still call this an active censorship. And yes, I am surprised this is getting new episodes too. I thought Arthur was canceled years ago.
Well, and that's generally my issue with it is why on earth did the government have a stake in a show basically promoting gay marriage?
I don't fucking know. I mean, I guess that's what giving creative control to people does.
Well, and that's the libertarian in me speaking. It's like, what does this, why? So this is one of those rare occasions where you will hear me ask, why is this on PBS?
I'll be straight. I I don't really see an issue with it. I really don't. I don't know why it's worth raising hell over, because other cartoons have done this in the past, and I don't know if I would put this at the same level of an HIV positive Muppet quite, because that is a little more difficult to explain to children, I would say, than gay people get married.
Well, and that's sort of my thing. It's like this. My whole argument isn't. I'm not saying this shouldn't exist. I'm saying that my tax dollars should not pay for it. To be frank, I'm still of the belief that PBS and what's the name of the radio that's basically
NPR.
NPR. I think they should both be defunded completely from federal tax dollars. There's no reason my federal tax dollars should go to that at all. You know what?
Yeah.
If we're going to have,
I don't disagree, especially if there are going to be moral objections to the content.
yes, and that's the kicker. It would be like I would have the same discomfort if Arthur did a pro-Palestine episode. It's like, why are my tax dollars paying for this? And I don't think this should air religious content either. Chaos Sonic gave us $5, says, as much as I don't like that they censored it, is the schadenfreude of how the entitled brats react to how this shit went down is hilarious. Yep.
But yeah, I'm kind of with Spudley on this one. Like, if we are going to take gay marriage out of publicly funded TV shows or whatever, it makes sense to take out straight marriages as well, or traditional marriages, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Like, just cut it.
Well, here's the thing. I'm all for, like, educational shows and things like that.
And that's my question. Is there still educational merit to that? Or at what point do we say that social education is pushing the boundaries? Because I would call this as more of a socially educational show.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like these sorts of things are supposed to be taught by parents.
Yeah.
You know, the social elements. When it comes to, you want to teach my kid how to count? Or the alphabet or stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. That's fine. But if you're trying to shape the opinions of children on gay marriage when they're 7, fuck off. That's not your business. And that's generally where I get it. It's like that should not be, you know, something that the government should have a vested interest in. They should be separated from that completely. So, I don't know. It's a messy situation, but I just don't like the idea of my federal tax dollars going towards this at all.
I do want to address Aaron Arcana says character being gay is not inherently a political statement. Being pro-Palestine is. Like it or not, gay marriage has been politicized.
Yeah, we are several times past the fact that it's politicized.
It is a political issue. I mean, if the Supreme Court has to issue a ruling on it, all bets are off that it's a political issue.
Yeah, it's been made one. And it's unfortunate that it was, because marriage in general should not be a political issue. The government shouldn't have touched it.
I absolutely agree. Government should not have gotten involved in the fucking first place. But unfortunately, that is where we are. I mean, again, I don't see any issue with it. But if people have moral objections to their tax dollars funding this, yeah, I think that's a valid issue to be raised. And yes, parents do not know how to parent; they just expect the TV to do it.
Yes, and that's disgusting.
Okay. By the way, some people were asking about context with the HIV positive Muppet. It was, I believe, in African or Middle Eastern. I believe it's African. version of Sesame Street. And yes, a Muppet character on there was HIV positive.
Yeah, that was
That was
stupid.
like a decade ago. So
That was stupid too. There's a lot of stupid that comes around to our tax dollars.
very, very difficult to explain to kids.
Yeah.
Like you basically have to go through sex ed before you can even get to that sort of thing.
Yep. All right, let's move on to something that I found interesting when you told me about this. All right, they're bringing Deadpool into the MCU.
Yeah. Apparently so. Disney is really trying hard to bring Deadpool into the MCU, either by a Deadpool 3 or introducing him in the third Spider-Man film. But they want Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool to be in the MCU. What?
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, I believe it was Kevin Feige said that in the future they would not be against MCU films being R-rated.
Mm-hmm. He has said that, especially Deadpool. I believe he was actually specifically
asked about
asked
Deadpool.
That question.
Yeah,
and he said no, we'd keep it as an R rating. And besides, even if Deadpool was in a PG-13 movie, like he'd crack jokes about it, just like we saw with Once Upon a Deadpool, which I'm still convinced was just a testing ground for what a Disney-approved Deadpool would look like.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
But no, my only issue is I don't know if the Deadpool and at least Tom Holland Spider-Man dynamic would work. Because this is not adult Spider-Man. This is still kid Spider-Man.
That might be part of the hilarity, though.
Sure, but I don't... There are just some avenues you would not be able to go down with it. I mean, like the obvious, very, very gay obsession with Peter Parker.
You could still do that. You could still portray it and it be hilarious. You would just have to word it differently.
There would be a lot of Chris Hansen peeking around corners, is all I'm going to say on that.
That would be part of the funny part. You get part of the it's not like you can really tell what his age is behind that mask. He's Spider-Man, not Spider-Boy, so what like Hatman, are you assuming his age? Are you an ageist?
He actually identifies as a 32-year-old man.
Yes.
Oh God.
But I think it could work well. I think it would be funny. I'm actually looking forward to this because I think that there are certain elements of the Fox X-Men franchise that will translate well to the MCU. Two specific ones: Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and as we all know, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, which he has, of course, shown interest in doing MCU stuff. So he actually showed interest in being in Infinity War, but that did not happen. So
I'm sorry. The quote. As long as he has a mask on, he's fair game.
Oh God. Anyway, Chaos Sonic asks, donates $5 and asks, speaking of Marvel, thoughts on Stan Lee's abuser finally being arrested? Good.
Good. Fuck him.
Yes.
Fuck him.
But regardless, there are some little elements here and there that could be interesting, could be worthwhile. Others not so much. We just have to see what happens. But I'm all for it.
I am too. I think it would add a new level of depth, because I mean we already got we already had him cracking some MCU jokes. The Thanos joke, of course, is the one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But Deadpool in the MCU would. Some people are going to cringe at the lol so random thing, but honestly, I think if you're going to find a way to satirize it, that is going to be your best avenue for it. And we saw how well fucking Shazam did at more or less satirizing the DCEU.
Mm-hmm.
If you can bring that to the MCU, go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it would just be a different kind of... It would be less raunchy comedy, but at the same time, I've always been of the opinion that if you can't go raunchy, it actually forces you to be more creative with your humor. Dick jokes are easy. So the question that I've got is, what would be the next X-Men element that they bring over? I have a feeling that would probably be Wolverine. I have a feeling that they would probably go big guns quick.
I think what they're going to do is retcon Wanda to be a mutant.
Oh, that's definitely going to happen.
And that is going to really open the door. And
that's not really introducing... I'm talking about introducing characters.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, if they bring the X-Men into it, Wanda would be, like, the catalyst for it all.
Well, yeah, because you've got a tired of Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, character-wise, I would expect Wolverine, like, after Deadpool, Wolverine wouldn't be far behind. And then they would probably bring in the rest of the X-Men afterwards. And I'm just... The interesting thing that I'm just... Or what I'm finding... or what I'm hoping that they would do is come up with some explanation as to why the X-Men have been hiding all this time. Because you think about it, you've got this world, unless they're just going to have mutants just pop out of nowhere, but you've got this world where you have this basically enclave of superpowered people that have just been sitting there in upstate New York while half the world's been turned to fucking dust. Like, you would wonder why they wouldn't reach out to the Avengers or something, So, it'll be weird. But it'll be interesting. Whoa!
Unless, of course, you want to go the government suppression route.
There's that. But supposedly there's going to be a multiversal element. Crusader Saracen donates another $20. Said, last one before I head off to work, gents. Till next time, Dave's fault. Thanks, buddy. I'm pretty sure that Crusader Saracen just, paid off my ticket. So... That's big help. Seriously, buddy. Thank you. So, the only way that this day could get better is if a hot, short-haired woman just started knocking on my door in the next 5 seconds.
I've only got one of those things.
Shit. Okay, so that didn't work out. But yeah, I kind of played my cards a little too openly there. One of these days, I'll meet a beautiful woman. Clearly not today. But anyway, I think that this is going to be good, though. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm interested to see this sort of thing. What I would hope that they would do... Didn't the guy who directed John Wick direct this one? Deadpool 2?
I remember, to be honest with you.
I'd like to give him another stab at it. But instead of making a movie that is more comedy than action, make a film that is more action than comedy. I'd like to take Deadpool down, more tonally towards the first film, but a little bit less raunchy. I'd like to see a Deadpool in sort of a John Wick style action film. Just because of, because the action scenes in the first Deadpool are fucking great. So, but, before we move on, Fantasy casting for Cyclops. Go.
That's a good fucking question.
I have two. Richard Armitage was one of the first ones that I thought of, who I thought would really play the character well. Another one that I thought could do well, but it would require him to be a lot more forward in kind of his acting than he has been as of late, would be Hugh Dancy.
I'm really, because it's.
What's been with the big numbers today? What the hell?
Are you come?
Now that your ticket is paid, how about reviewing the other Cortez comic? This is the parody one after the main one. Oh, absolutely. I'm actually going to be working on the main one tomorrow. Like, I've got kind of the basics of it scripted, so.
Yeah, we also need to finish Trump Prophecy. We're like months late on that.
Yeah. But no, for me, Richard Armitage or Hugh Dancy, I think would be really good as Cyclops. It's just you have to cast a strong Gene to play his opposite.
Yeah. And he's got to have the element of becoming like strong motherfucker later on.
Yeah. He's got to be a character where he bears the weight of leadership all the time. He is your Captain America of the X-Men. He has to be. You know, basically, if you want how you should write him, X-Men the Animated Series from the 90s. It's the best Cyclops there ever has been. Well, because it's basically Chris Claremont Cyclops. And also, bring back Lev Schreiber as Sabretooth. That's all I have to say about that. I think we lost the Hatman. But fun fact, in X-Men Origins Wolverine, in Logan, Lev Schreiber was supposed to return to Sabretooth. But it didn't end up panning out, which is a bummer. Hatman, are you back yet?
Nope.
Sort of. Hatman.exe has stopped working. So we will go ahead. Oh, there we go. I see some movement.
Nope. Still not here.
No, you're here. Ish.
I'm still waiting for a good connection to happen.
Well, I can see you. People can see you. It's one of the weird things about Google is like you can, with Hangouts, is you can have like little to no connection. You can still get through. So, we'll continue though. And I do agree, Rogue should totally absorb Captain Marvel's powers if she continues to suck ass. I think that would be brilliant, honestly. I think it would be a great idea. I don't know who would play Rogue, though. That's the weird thing. Like, I really don't know. So, can't think of that many young actresses. Well, maybe the girl who played Mara in Aquaman could play her. But,
Who, the Abuser?
Mara in Aquaman?
Yeah. That's Johnny Depp's ex-wife.
Oh, it is. Never mind. Fuck that. But, I completely forgot that was Amber Heard. So let's move on to Star Wars so I can get my foot out of my mouth. So for those of you who have missed it, on my main channel, I've been streaming Knights of the Old Republic quite a bit. And Amy Adams is Jean Grey. I could get behind that. But anyway, her and Hugh Dancy together as Jean and Cyclops with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That's a... You make that film about Mutant Massacre, you could get an Oscar out of it. Like, seriously. But anyway. So, this caught me off guard. So, we were a little bit cautious about Knights of the Old Republic being made into films. But the writer for Battle Angel, for Alita Battle Angel, I need to be more specific there, is attached to writing this film.
Well, films.
Trilogy. Yeah. With Weinhoff and Weiss.
Benioff and Weiss.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Basically, the guys who fucked up Game of Thrones.
Well, they fucked up Game of Thrones because they cut themselves short on it. Because they were going to do this instead. So, which I can't really blame them. If somebody said, you know, do you want to do Star Wars or Game of Thrones? You're like, fuck Star Wars. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'll probably say the same fucking thing.
So, this is cool. I ain't even gonna lie. And I've going back through Knights of the Old Republic and playing through it, I do see that if you made the main game a series of films, how you could make it really cool. I would rather it be a series, but you could make films about what leads up to the Jedi Civil War. You know, you could make a film about the Mandalorian Wars. You could make a film about the initial quest for the Star Forge, and then you could make a film about Revan and Malak's turn to the dark side. I think that each of those would be really, really compelling. You know, could you imagine, have a film called The Fall of Revan, where you see the bombing of Cartho Nassi's homeworld. Like, that would be, that'd be powerful stuff. Like, that third one I just mentioned has the potential to be what Revenge of the Sith could have been if Hayden Christensen wasn't such a bad actor. Which, by the way, he's not the worst actor that's ever been in Star Wars, but he could have been better cast. But, and I say this as somebody who doesn't dislike Revenge of the Sith. I actually think it's a fun film. Has, in my opinion, the best lightsaber battle ever in the fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. So, and part of that, I think, is John Williams' score. It's very emotional.
Battle of the Heroes is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. It's even with Hayden Christensen's acting not being that great, his physical acting in that fight is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's his delivery of lines that's the problem. But you can kind of blame that on George Lucas as a director as well.
Well, not even that. Just the script, the writing for a lot of intense dialogue in the prequels turned out to be really just
hokey,
awful. Just awful. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Like, why didn't you just say the Jedi are evil? Come on. Why the fuck do you have to say from my point of view? Unless that's for Obi-Wan, a certain point of view. Like,
that's what I kind of felt like it was alluding to. Not very well. But anyway, back on this. So, thought for you.
Yeah.
Directors of Game of Thrones directing these films. Written by the writer who did Battle Angel Alita. Scored by John Williams. Is that an instant sell?
I think the kicker on that would be scored by John Williams.
I think that's what this would need. Honestly.
I don't know if he would, though. I think he said episode 9 is the last one he would do.
That's the problem. Is I think that there would be a need for a really, really, really good score. Please don't spam the chat, guys. the I feel like a story that epic needs somebody like John Williams.
Yeah, I would say
really,
so too.
Yeah, to really hit it and hit those notes. The only person that I would think you could really get that might be able to do it is as well. His name is escaping me at the moment. Harry Gregson Williams. Only person I could think of that could probably...
Wow. Hadn't heard anything of his in a while.
Yeah. He would be really, really good for it, I think. Because Harry Gregson Williams can do dark stories very well. You gotta keep in mind he did Kingdom of Heaven. Either him or I would love to see Hans Zimmer do this.
Be interesting.
If Hans Zimmer could bring the same intensity that he did with Gladiator, that would be crazy. Oh, James Newton Howard. That's another really good one, too.
Yes, absolutely. He's a protege of... You just said his name, and I fucking forgot it already. Wow.
Hans Zimmer?
Yes. Protege of Hans Zimmer, I believe.
Yep. Do I really want Rian Johnson Jr. and Ryan the Third directing KOTOR? So, the Game of Thrones finale is bad because it didn't have time. Not necessarily because of ideas. You have to keep in mind, they crammed what should have been 12 episodes into 6. And I wouldn't compare it in quality to The Last Jedi. It was... I would... If you gave me two options... It's like, Micah, here's a bowl of popcorn and your favorite soda, which is decaf Pepsi. You know, you get to watch one of two things. And this food is free. The Last Jedi, the end of Game of Thrones. I pick the end of Game of Thrones every fucking time. The Last Jedi is an abortion of filmmaking. It's really bad. Game of Thrones is just rushed. There's a big difference. So, all right. So let's go ahead and move on to the Q&A. So Hatman and I were talking. We feel like we disappointed you guys with the last podcast. And I feel like that's become a trend that has become too much with me lately anyway. Which, you know, I feel like that's part of the reason as to why my Patreon has tanked in regards to amount of people that contribute to it, which I will be addressing that soon. The Q&A, if you are going to be missing the podcast, that is what the Twitter questions and the emails are for. They are not to just try to get your questions in early. So if you don't think you're going to make the podcast, please submit it over Twitter or email. If you do think you are going to make them and you're worried, you think you're probably not going to get hit in time, then that's fine. You can send that via email. And if you do make it, you can ask us in the chat. So we would ask that. So what we're going to do is the stuff for emails. If we're seeing you in the chat today, we're just going to save them for the overflow. Same with Twitter questions. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get a lot anyway. So, but we don't want to leave the chat in the dust. You know, we wanted to make, you know, we of course are going to prioritize the people that give us money because you're paying to have a question answered.
Yeah, you're financing the channel. So.
Yeah, I think that would be fair in doing that. So, let's go ahead and get right to that. So, Holy Ninja Toast says, for the Entertainment Podcast, what's your thoughts on Andrew Klavan's analysis on how Game of Thrones talks about reality while superhero films and faith-based films? I don't know what Klavan said on that, actually, so link me to that in the Discord and I'll get to you. Talon Silverbane wants to know, if Planescape Torment was made into a movie or series of films, who would the cast be? That's one I might have to do a whole video on, but I don't... If you're going to do a series, I would like to actually see an animated series be done in that, because the budget for a live-action Planescape Torment would be insanity. But I would like to see Phil LaMarr do the voice of the Nameless One. I think that would be a really good fit. And then the rest of them, you can just bring back the voice actors. You have to keep in mind the cast. Well, Tony Jay has since passed away, which is unfortunate.
God rest his soul.
Indeed, he was amazing. But I would love to see like someone like Jim Cummings voice I'll just say the last boss. I'm not going to spoil the game.
Or Jim Cummings or Frank Welker, I would say.
Welker would be a good one too. But you can bring Keith David back as Valor. You could bring Jennifer Hale back, because Jennifer Hale was really young when she did voicing for that game. You could bring back Jennifer Hale as Fall from Grace. Like that would be what I would do, is a mature animated series. So I think it would be incredible too. You know, you put it on Netflix, you put it on Hulu or something like that, and people would be all over it, I would think. If you market it properly. So, I think that's all we had. Yeah, that's all we had from the Discord. So, whoa, Chaos Sonic gives money, and he say, "You haven't disappointed me, Micah. The only reason I don't use Patreon is because Patreon takes a cut. Why would I give a company that censors people they don't like when I can give it to you directly?" Well, thank you, buddy. I actually appreciate that.
Good point.
So, question from Brainbox. We're going to go ahead and just go straight to the chat now. Okay. Have you heard of the game Hatman Blasphemous? Since I know you enjoy Metroidvania stuff. I put a video of it on Twitter.
I'm not familiar with it.
Let's get a live Hatman reaction to this, because I am...
Kickstarter trailer?
It's the Kickstarter remake trailer. It's the one that'll say 1 week ago.
Okay.
And
so
don't start it. Don't start it yet, because what I want to do, I want to set up so that the chat can watch this too, because I think this is a really, really cool looking game.
Okay.
Let me organize my windows real quick.
Literally looked at my phone and I got an alert from NBC about a Fortnite player suing his team.
Oh yeah, I heard about that too. That one's pretty freaking crazy. Okay.
All right,
hit it.
Ready?
Hopefully you hit it, because I did.
I did. I've hit it. Damn, this is like old school Genesis look almost.
Oh yeah.
Getting some serious Symphony of the Night vibes here.
Oh yeah, it feels like Symphony hardcore. The art style is very Symphony-like. Same with the scale.
I just want to know if this is Pyramid Head's origin story, when he was still Conehead.
I love the soundtrack too.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I'm big on Gothic and old Catholic imagery as well. Even though I'm not Catholic, obviously, but
yeah.
There's a little creepiness to it that I think lends itself to horror. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it looks Ninja Gaiden hard too.
It kind of does, yeah.
I like that there's a parry mechanic. That's going to come in handy.
Yeah. Fatality.
Yeah. Looks intense.
Yeah. I was half expecting him to throw a wine glass at the end.
I know, right? So, thoughts?
Yeah, damn, that looks really fucking cool. Yeah, that's more the Castlevania than the Metroid, obviously. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, that is, God,
Yeah, it's apparently the guy.
Castlevania and Bloodborne. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Serena just gave me money. I promise the ring's coming, baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, she says, the reason I don't use social media like Twitter is to ask you guys questions is because I've been hacked. Ooh. And my account banned for no reason sometimes, so I try not to deal with Twitter anymore. I feel emails is more direct and reliable. Amen to that.
Fair enough.
So, Twitter censoring a conservative black woman. I can't be the only one who sees a problem there. So, but I will not speak for black people. Black people can speak for themselves. So, and I'm obviously very pasty. So, I go outside in the sun and just blind people just because of the reflection. All right, what else we got from the chat? Because we got people asking. An Ultimate Agent just asked one, and he says we might have missed it. Can you find that for us?
That's in the emails.
Oh, we'll be doing we'll be doing all the emails just on the overflow.
Yeah, unless you want to just go ahead and stick it in the chat here, we'll do that.
Yeah, exactly. So Chaos Sonic says questions whether or not Epic will steal the game, and if how long it'll be till game activists compare it to Dark Souls. Oh, it'll take about 5 seconds. Everything gets compared to Dark Souls these days.
Oh, he did put it in the chat. Okay, cool. So what are your thoughts on My Hero Macadamia and Trump Space Force?
I got blown up in Macadamia.
I love My Hero Macadamia. Like, I cannot look at My Hero Academia any other way anymore. I have to see All Might is Trump now.
Yeah.
It's
so
great.
With me personally, I've read Macadamia. I have not read Trump Space Force yet. I'm going to when I get the chance. So. Swordsman 100 asks, so apparently in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Venom is in a boss fight, but he's fighting against his will and his handler is Electro, of all people, who he even absorbs in the fight. Thoughts? I'm interested in playing the game, but I just don't have the money for a Switch. If it comes to PC, I'll be all over it, but I've heard that Venom is going to be a playable character in it, so. I'm just disappointed that the ports for 1 and 2, like they updated them and then the controller support went crazy and now it's just gone. So because I love the first Ultimate Alliance. It's an incredible game.
I've played it a long fucking time.
Let's see here. Why don't older artists and this is from Matchstick. Why don't older artists and writers thrown to the side by Marvel, DC, etc. go to the gold mine that is crowdfunding? I don't understand that either. I think it's because they want structure. Because there is admittedly a lot of structure when it comes to that. Or at least a lot more than independent. And I think that would probably be the main reason. Like, cause that's what I've heard. Because when I've talked to Brett and I've talked to Ethan and I've talked to other people about this behind the scenes, and basically that's what they've told me is like a lot of guys, like even like Mark Wade, won't do that. They want to have a company behind it, because they want what they would assume would be a steady investment from an investor. So, got another donation. Kevin wants to know, says, well, one of your recent videos made me wonder if a comic uses an advancing timeline where even its most popular heroes eventually retire or stay dead if killed, do you think it would sell? That's a good question. Because I've always liked the idea of, as time goes on, like having an active timeline, because 2000 AD does that. The Judge Dredd comics, and I like that idea. So, but the question is whether or not you could really sell it, and I think that you kind of wonder: do you have to keep a character sort of like they stop aging past 30? You know, I don't know. I don't have an answer. All I know is that everything I'm writing has a beginning and end to it. So it's just whether or not that end is in 5 issues or in 500. Ryan Potter asks, do we think Normal Boots is going to implode like Channel Awesome?
Yep.
Definitely.
It's already on its way.
Oh, yeah.
Curse of Jontron.
Pretty much. What else we got?
Did you answer Crystal Wings?
Which was...
The D&D character.
I might have missed it.
It's right here. If the D&D character I'm making is a female chaotic good tiefling necromancer, how do I balance her personality between snarky smartass to the Punisher? Those kind of seem like polar extremes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I have no idea. Deadpool?
Yeah, that would be what I was thinking. Is probably like
That's the
Deadpool
thing, though.
or something.
I don't know if I consider Deadpool on the same level as Frank. He's just a homicidal maniac. Like, Frank has a method to the madness.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a really good option for that. Yeah, that's the thing. Deadpool is like the only thing I could think of. Like the only other characters that I would say like really hit that balance properly are like pulp characters, like Conan the Barbarian, Elric of Melibene.
Yeah.
That's where I would look actually. Would be pulpy characters.
Red Hood.
Oh, the Red Hood. Yeah, that's a really good one too.
There you go. Yes, there you go.
Holy crap, people. $10 from Torino de Guzman. What does Torino say? Have either of us watched Gundam Build Fighters? To summarize, it's Gundam Breaker the anime. It's filled with mythology gaps, Gundam in-jokes, and cameos. Also, do you build Gunpla? I would love to. What I want to do, because they're actually fairly cheap, is get the 144th scale Gundam wing models and have them here on my desk. But I don't have the cash for them right now. I'm a little behind on money. So, but once I am not behind on money anymore, which today's streams might have actually caught up. So thank you guys very much for that. I owe you quite a bit now. So more good content on the way for sure. You guys are gonna
best audience.
To say the least. You guys are gonna love the video that I do on. It's sort of a review of that Demon Lord thing. It's a review of that, plus why I hate waifu bait. And part of the reason is actually behind me. Because waifu bait is part of the reason as to why there have been delays in Berserk. That is why you should focus. And this is my thing to Kintaro Miura. I can't speak Japanese, so somebody's going to have to translate. This is why you should focus on God, not on breasts. Breasts are secondary, God is forever. Dave's fault. That is really easy for me to say with like no attractive women around me. So guys, if you don't know what I mean, Google Idolmaster and you'll know what I mean. Kintaro Miura is obsessed with it. And it has literally caused delays for Berserk. It's why we're on the fucking boat for so long. So, no, master grade, real grade might be too much if Mike has never built it. Well, I used to have the 1/100 scale. I had Wing Gundam, Wing Zero, Death Scythe Hell, Epion, Master Gundam, and or Devil Gundam if you're in Japan, and God Gundam, or Burning Gundam if you're from America. So, and I had Gundam Maxter as well. So I've built several of them. It's just been like over a decade. But I miss having them. Like, I have no idea whatever happened to them. I think they just got stuck in storage and then just went. So. But at some point, because I've got, like, this space under my desk where, like, Cthulhu here is, that is, like, ripe for decoration, but there's nothing down there. Like, except this guy. Horatio. So, is that right? Is that right? Okay. Strongly recommend Tall Geese. Which one? 1, 2, or 3? I like the third one. The third one was really cool. All right, last question. And then we're taking off. So this one's from Hardboiled Entertainment. It says, remember when you said you'd have Batman hire Deathstroke on retainer? I sounded the call on Twitter for art based on that. Tag both of you. I'm all over it. That is like the one plot twist that I would love to do with Batman, is to have him hire Slade for something, you know, and put him on retainer as part of a Justice League story. I think that would be really cool, because you know it would create tensions between him and Damian. So, since Damian is just a little shit, fucking hate Damian. All right. Let's go ahead and call this to a close for the week. So, holy shit. Who all do I have to thank here? There's a lot of people.
Just thank everybody.
Torino, Kevin, Chaos Sonic, Serena, Chaos Sonic again. One can say Shield Hero is sort of a harem anime, but the only reason why you can understand why Naofumi is not jumping on them is because of what happened to him. Yes, I do plan on doing a video about that as well, about where I'm at so far in the series, calling it basically the anime for the Me Too era, because I do think that's what it is. But anyway, Chaos Sonic, Crusader Saracen, Uno, thank you all very much for donating this week. Thank you, of course, to anyone who is still a patron, because I know that the end of the month is coming up. So between that, I think you guys have all kind of saved my ass this month. So I very humbled, to say the least, given like my my recent misfortunes. So I'm going to go ahead and take off for the evening. I was thinking about doing the final KOTOR stream tonight. I'm still kind of feeling a little under the weather. We'll see how it goes, but it is kind of late anyway. So everybody enjoy your evenings. We are definitely going to do the same. Don't forget, of course, if we didn't answer your question, to please submit it now for overflow. We will get the Twitter and email ones as well if we didn't already answer your question in chat. So we appreciate you guys. I'm actually going to play Dragon Age for the rest of the evening and be an asshole and bang Morgan. And then when I'm done with her, I'm going to go bang Liliana, because Liliana's got short hair and she's hotter. But anyway, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Bowen, and I don't know what the fuck to say to that.
Actually, wait. Before we go, we have to share a meme.
Do we?
Oh, yes. So, Daniel Garza, where are you at?
Oh, God.
Daniel, where are you?
Oh, God, I know what this is. I know what this is. And it's so fucking good.
This was probably one of the funniest things.
This is incredible.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, let me get my Windows kind of adjusted here, because this is just hilarious. Whoa! But there we go.
You're getting more money, or
no? It was I clicked something wrong. I clicked the overlay and it kind of dragged off, and I didn't want it to. So I would just like to introduce you all to the greatest meme ever.
Fucking vanilla gorilla.
So
you might want to move it over just a tad bit. There you go. Oh my god.
Please tell me if people can read that.
Oh my god. Oh god.
So to read it, it says here.
No. Let me read it as me, and you read it as you.
Where's Aiden when we need her?
Damn it.
Damn it.
Okay, so you can read her part. Fuck it.
All right.
So, like I was saying, I think the neglect of the issues of men is an extremely concerning issue.
Hatman! Quit practicing your speech and get the fuck out. I'm gonna fuck Serena now, and I don't tolerate voyeurism in my bedroom.
God! He always does this. He goes into a bar, takes out the biggest guy there, makes a gorilla joke, and then has relations until 8 a.m. He never considers the noise complaints, the police reports, the fact that he's made enemies with every single fucking janitor we've ever met. And Jesus almighty, how many rounds is he going to go?
Millions! Well, look on the bright side. At least all the young men attending the conference will now have a shining example on how not to be a pathetic cuck, and that's always a win in my book.
I love this shit. I love it so much. I love this so much. Oh, God.
So, this is truly art.
This really is.
Serena's like, you're welcome. Yes, thank you for not being offended.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. Everyone's fucking dead. Chat is dead right now.
Chad is totally dead. All right, now we need to take off.
Yes.
I'm sorry, just the idea of making enemies of janitors.
Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take off. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin. I'm gonna be kept fucking awake till 8 in the morning, I guess.
Oh yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Deus Vult.
Deus Vult.